Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well informed. Today, we're plunging into a market that's, well, absolutely critical but often flies under the radar. We're talking about the global small-medium enterprise, or SME insurance market. Think of it as a crucial backbone for economic resilience. It's the silent guardian for countless small businesses worldwide. Our mission today. To unpack the fascinating trends, the powerful growth projections for this vital market, we're drawing on some really sharp insights from cognitive market research. And just to set the stage for you, let's talk about the scale here. It's pretty incredible. Back in 2021, the global SME insurance market was valued at over $110 billion. That's $110.269 billion to be exact. Now, fast forward a few years to 2025, and it's projected to hit nearly $141 billion, $140.847 billion. But here's where it gets really impactful. By 2033, that number is expected to soar to almost $230 billion. We're talking $229.795 billion. That reflects a strong compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 6.31%. Now, KGR, for those wondering, just means that on average, year after year, this market is projected to grow by, well, over 6%.
That indicates a very stable and healthy expansion trend.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, these numbers underscore something really significant for you. It's not just about more businesses popping up. It's really about a growing awareness, a growing need for robust risk mitigation for these small and medium businesses across the globe. It's a clear reflection of the dynamism, the evolving needs within the global economy. As these businesses could be your local artisan bakery or maybe a burgeoning tech startup as they grow in complexity, face new threats. Well, their need for solid protection just increases dramatically. So this growth tells us the insurance sector is evolving right alongside them.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's unpack this a bit more then. Where exactly is this significant growth happening? Is it sort of spread evenly across the globe, or are there specific hotspots driving these impressive figures?
Good question. Let's maybe start with North America. This market is set to almost double in size. It's moving from around $35 billion, $35.396 billion in 2021 to over $70.316 billion by 2033. This reflects a solid compound annual growth rate of approximately, let's see, 5.9%, or 0.059 if we're being precise with the decimal format used here. Within this region, the United States, as you might expect, holds the largest share. Its market is projected to grow from around $28.35 billion to nearly $54 billion, $53.933 billion, with a 5.5% CAGR.
Okay, U.S. leading. That's not too surprising.
Not at all. But what's particularly interesting here is Canada, its SME insurance market. It's showing incredibly robust growth, projected to more than double, from roughly $5.8 billion, $5.787 billion to over $14 billion, $14.63 billion by 2033. That indicates a very high CAGR of nearly 7.7%, 7.68% to be exact.
Wow, almost 7.7%. That's quite a jump for Canada. Any thoughts on why?
Well, it could be influenced by specific government incentives, maybe, for small business growth, or perhaps a rapidly evolving tech startup scene that demands more tailored insurance solutions. It's definitely something to watch. And Mexico also shows consistent growth, projected to nearly double from just over $1.2 billion, $1.257 billion, to over $2.3 billion, with a KGR around 4.9%.
Okay, interesting dynamics in North America.
Yeah.
So from those established markets, let's turn our gaze to Europe. What's the picture there?
Europe is also poised for strong growth. It's set to double as well, from around $32.4 billion in 2021 to nearly $65 billion, $64.802 billion by 2033. That's a CGR of almost 6%, 5.941%.
So pretty solid, similar overall trajectory to North America then.
Pretty similar overall rate, yeah. And several countries are really leading the charge here. The United Kingdom and Germany are key players. Both are seeing their markets more than double over this period. The UK goes from about $4.65 billion to nearly $10 billion, $9.818 billion. And Germany from $5.6 billion roughly to $11.6 billion.
Right. Big economies driving growth.
Exactly. And France and Italy are also significant contributors. They're showing steady growth towards the $9 billion and $8 billion marks, respectively. So France, $4.78 billion to $9.1 billion. Italy, $3.8 billion to $8.06 billion. Beyond these major economies, though, we see consistent expansion across the continent. Countries like Russia, that's $3 billion up to nearly $6.9 billion. Spain, $2.3 billion to $5.2 billion. Then you've got Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, even Luxembourg, all contributing healthy, sustained growth. Sweden, $1.9 to $3.6 billion, Denmark, $1.4 to $2.4 billion, Switzerland, $1.75 to $3.2 billion, and Luxembourg, $1.3 to $2.6 billion. It really highlights, the comprehensive nature of risk mitigation for SMEs across diverse European economies.
Okay, a broad base of growth in Europe. Now let's head east. What about Asia Pacific? I often hear that's where a lot of the economic dynamism is concentrated.
Oh, absolutely. Asia Pacific is truly a rapidly expanding region for SME insurance. It's expected to more than double in size, growing from just over $29 billion, $29.111 million in 2021, to nearly $65 billion, $64.572 billion by 2033. And it boasts an impressive CAGR of nearly 6.9%. 6.864%, so slightly higher than Europe and North America.
Okay, so faster growth overall. Who's leading the pack there?
Well, China clearly dominates the region. Its market is expanding from over $8 billion, $8.122 billion, to over $17 billion, $17.305 billion. Japan is also a major player, of course, seeing its market grow from over $6.3 billion to more than $13 billion, $13.1 billion. But India is the real standout here. It's showing explosive growth.
Explosive, how so?
Its market is projected to almost triple, rocketing from around $4.5 billion, $4.483 billion, to over $12 billion, $12.269 billion. That comes with a really robust CAGR of almost 8.8%, 8.752%.
Wow, nearly 9%. That's huge. What's driving that, do you think?
Well, this kind of acceleration in India likely points to its booming entrepreneurial ecosystem and also the rapid formalization of businesses there. That brings a massive number of new SMEs into the insurance net, so to speak. And it's not just India. Other vital markets like South Korea going from $2.7 billion to $6.6 billion, Australia, $1.9 to $4.5 billion, Singapore, $1.4 to $2.7 billion, Southeast Asia as a whole, $1.5 to $3.2 billion, and Taiwan, $1.3 to $2.7 billion.
They're all making significant contributions too, experiencing really strong growth.
Fascinating stuff happening in Asia Pacific, especially India. Okay, let's shift our attention now maybe to South America. What's the potential there?
South America presents some truly robust growth potential for SME insurance.
Yeah.
Yes. The region as a whole is projected to more than double, moving from just over $7 billion, $7.97 billion in 2021 to nearly $16 billion, $15.856 billion by 2033. That's with a strong CGR of almost 7%, 6.979%, so right up there with Asia Pacific in terms of growth rate.
Okay, nearly 7%. Who are the key players driving that? Brazil leads the charge here, as you might guess. Its market is going from around $3 billion to almost $6.7 billion, $3.006 billion to $6.675 billion. Argentina is also on a strong upward trajectory, growing from about $1.5 billion, $1.475 billion, to nearly $3.4 billion, $3.393 billion. And Colombia is showing particularly strong momentum, expanding from under $1 billion, the under $2.988 billion, to over $2.3 billion. That's quite a leap.
Definitely strong momentum in Colombia.
Yes. And we also see Peru, Chile, and the rest of South America category contributing steadily, all growing at rates around or in some cases above 6%. This dynamic growth in South America really reflects, I think, a burgeoning small business sector that's recognizing the increasing need for protection, especially in a rapidly developing economic landscape.
Makes sense. Okay, two more regions to cover. What about the Middle East?
All right, the Middle East. The market for SME insurance there is projected for particularly strong growth, again, more than doubling, from just over $3 billion, $3.198 billion in 2021, to over $7.3 billion, $7.353 billion by 2033. And look at the CGR over 7.1%, 7.186%. So one of the highest regional growth rates we've seen.
Higher than South America and Asia Pacific even. Interesting. Which countries stand out?
Looking at key countries, Saudi Arabia is projected to more than double its market, from $1.15 billion to over $2.6 billion, $2.61 billion. Turkey is also seeing strong expansion from about $7.76 billion to over $1.7 billion, $1.713 million. The UAE, though, particularly stands out. It's posting a very high CGR of nearly 7.8%, 7.758%.
Wow, 7.8% for the UAE.
Yeah, as its market grows from just over $500 million, $0.582 billion, to over $1.4 billion, $1.427 billion. These trends across Saudi Arabia, Turkey, the UAE, alongside consistent upward movements we see in Egypt and Qatar as well, it all indicates, a rapidly maturing business environment. and increasing formalization of smaller enterprises throughout the Middle East.
Got it. Okay, and finally, rounding out our regional deep dive, let's talk about Africa.
Africa, yes, the SME insurance market there is also showing impressive gains. It's projected to more than double, growing from just over $3 billion, $3.08 billion in 2021, to nearly $6.9 billion, $6.894 billion by 2033. That's with a solid CAGR of over 6.7%, 6.764%.
Okay, still very healthy growth. Any specific country highlights?
Nigeria is a significant driver. Its market increasing from about $1.35 billion to nearly $2.85 billion, $1.349 billion to $2.847 billion. South Africa is another powerhouse in this space, seeing its market jump from just over $1 billion, $1.093 billion, to over $2.7 billion, $2.744 billion. And actually, South Africa shows a strong CAGR similar to the UAE, 7.8%, 7.814%.
Another near 8% growth rate.
Interesting. It is, and the rest of Africa category is also contributing significantly, more than doubling its revenue from about $0.65 billion to $1.3 billion. This really signals, I think, a continental shift. More African businesses embracing formalization, embracing risk management as well, critical components of their growth strategy.
So that covers all the regions. What does this all mean when we sort of put it all together, taking a step back?
Well, the numbers clearly paint a picture of significant, consistent growth, pretty much across the globe for SME insurance. It's truly solidifying its role as, like you said at the start, an indispensable backbone for economic resilience, for stability, for these small and medium businesses everywhere.
Yeah, it feels like it's not just about protection anymore. It's almost enabling growth and confidence, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And what's truly fascinating here, for me anyway, is not just the sheer scale of the growth, but the varying rates, the standout contributors we see in each region, which really raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. What unique economic factors or maybe regulatory factors in these specific regions, think about Canada's rapid growth or India's explosive expansion? We talked about what might be driving their particular growth trajectories. Is it maybe a focus on certain industries? Or perhaps evolving digital risks demanding new kinds of cover? Or maybe new government policies supporting small businesses? Lots to think about there.
That is a great point to ponder as you continue to think about this vital sector. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We really encourage you to continue exploring the crucial and often overlooked role of SMEs and their protection in the global economy.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Really glad you could join us. We're all about giving you those essential insights fast and deep. Today, we're jumping into the small and medium enterprise insurance market, SMEs. It's this really dynamic part of the global economy. And, well, it's going through a huge transformation right now.
Yeah, it really is.
But the big question, I think, is can this sometimes quite rigid insurance world actually adapt? Adapt to how agile and, unpredictable small businesses are.
That's exactly it.
Especially when cash flow is tight. That seems like the core tension here.
It's a critical question, absolutely, because SMEs, they're the backbone everywhere, globally.
Yeah. Right.
And their ability to innovate, to grow, and maybe most importantly, to handle shocks. Their resilience.
Yeah.
It's just fundamentally tied to how they manage risk. So insurance, it's not just a safety net anymore.
No.
It's becoming foundational, really key for their long-term survival, their sustainability.
That's a really powerful way to frame it, foundational, because, for ages, it felt like insurance was almost a luxury for SMEs.
Definitely seen that way.
Something you might get if you had extra cash lying around. But that whole mindset and the market, too, it's shifting big time.
It really is.
Moving from, like you said, nice to have to, well, an absolute must-have.
Yeah.
You just need to look at the risks small businesses face now. They seem to be escalating every day.
Exactly. And what's really striking is how quickly SMEs themselves are realizing this.
Okay.
It's not just reading headlines. They're seeing direct impacts like supply chain chaos or maybe subtle regulatory shifts.
Right.
Things that suddenly make their vulnerability very real, not abstract. I saw a study, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Said something like 60% of small businesses hit by a cyber attack, they go bust within 6 months.
Wow. 60%. That's brutal.
It is.
It really hits home that this isn't just for the big players anymore.
Not at all.
And it's not only this growing awareness driving things, is it? I get the feeling technology's playing a huge part, too. Maybe surprisingly so.
Oh, absolutely. Tech is massive here. Digital innovation, what people call insurtech, mostly.
Right, insurtech.
It's completely changing how SMEs even find and buy insurance. The real difference is how, frictionless it's becoming.
Frictionless. How so?
Well, imagine like a small startup. Instead of weeks of paperwork and phone tag,
Yeah.
they can get a full quote, maybe even with some AI risk assessment baked in minutes on an app.
Seriously, that fast?
Yeah, that kind of speed, that accessibility, it was just unheard of for small businesses before.
That sounds incredibly empowering, especially if you're, a founder pulled in a million directions.
Exactly.
What else is pushing this forward? Are governments getting involved at all?
They definitely are. Regulatory encouragement is another big driver.
Okay.
Governments around the world are stepping in, not just mandating basic coverage,
Mhm.
for things like public safety or protecting employees,
Yeah.
Right, the essentials.
but also actively trying to make insurance more affordable, more accessible.
How are they doing that?
Through things like tax breaks, sometimes subsidies, or even just running awareness campaigns to get the word out.
Oh, okay.
It all helps lower that financial barrier and educate businesses on why coverage matters.
Yeah.
These things actively boost the market.
Okay, so we've got these strong forces, SMEs realizing the risks, tech making it easy, governments nudging them along. Sounds great.
Yeah, the drivers are strong.
But if it's all pointing in the right direction, why isn't every single SME fully insured?
Sure.
What are the real sticking points, the things that make a business owner hesitate?
You've hit the nail on the head there. That's the other side of the coin. Despite all the positives, there are still significant hurdles.
Like what?
One of the biggest, just a lack of insurance literacy, basic understanding.
Really?
Yeah. Many SME owners, maybe especially in developing economies, just aren't fully aware of the real benefits or how policies actually work,
Yeah.
the details. And this knowledge gap, it often means they have no insurance at all,
Right.
or almost worse sometimes. They're badly underinsured when something actually happens.
So they think they're covered, but they're not really.
Exactly. They just don't know what they don't know.
It's tough to prioritize buying something you don't fully grasp, isn't it? Especially when money's tight.
Precisely.
And that brings us straight to the next big one, I imagine. Cost.
It does. Cost sensitivity is huge.
Mm.
Many SMEs run on incredibly tight margins.
Yeah, I bet.
They're constantly juggling immediate costs, payroll, supplies, rent, keeping the lights on.
The day-to-day stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And compared to that, insurance can look like a non-essential spend.
Mm-hmm.
Its benefit isn't immediate, right?
Right. It's like you said, a safety net you hope you never need.
It's almost the classic invisible product, isn't it? Like paying for a fire extinguisher hoping your house doesn't catch fire.
Yeah. Good analogy.
But when it does, suddenly that extinguisher is priceless. This view of insurance as just an expense, not an investment in protection, it really holds back market growth.
And, okay, let's say an SME gets over those hurdles. They understand it, they find the budget, they buy a policy. The relationship doesn't stop there, does it?
No, not at all.
Often, the real test comes when you actually need to make a claim. And that can be another big problem area, right?
Absolutely. The claims process itself can be a major restraint.
Oh, so?
Well, think about it. A business owner is already stressed from whatever happened,
Sure.
and then they face really complex paperwork, maybe find out about policy exclusions they didn't expect, or just face frustrating delays getting the payout.
Yeah, that sounds infuriating.
It creates a really negative impression. And those bad experiences, whether they happen to you directly or you just hear about them, they damage trust.
Right. Word gets around.
It really does. It erodes confidence in insurers generally and makes it harder to get other businesses on board,
Yeah.
a kind of reputational ripple effect.
Those are some pretty serious barriers then. Literacy, cost, claims. Wow.
There's significant challenges.
But okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's look forward because this space is innovating, right? It's not static.
Definitely not.
So looking ahead, how is insurance getting, better for SMEs? More relevant, more accessible? What are the exciting developments?
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. One huge trend is much more customization of the actual insurance products.
Customization, like tailoring it more.
Exactly. Insurers are moving away from those old, rigid, one-size-fits-all policies.
Okay.
They're designing plans that are modular. You pick the bits you need, or specific to certain industries, even based on usage.
Usage-based, how does that work?
Well, think of, say, a delivery company. Maybe they only pay for vehicle insurance when the van is actually out on the road, tracked by GPS or telematics.
Pay-as-you-go insurance.
Kind of, yeah. Or for an industry-specific example, maybe a small craft brewery gets cover specifically tailored to risks like, exploding kegs, not just generic property damage.
Right, much more specific.
And this isn't just guesswork. It's powered by better data, by AI, allowing insurers to understand and price risks much more finely.
So it makes it more affordable, potentially,
Yeah.
and definitely more relevant.
Exactly. Better fit, better price. No more paying for coverage you just don't need. That's a big deal for SMEs.
That makes a lot of sense. What about those digital risks we talked about earlier, cyber threats?
Yeah, that's another major trend. The demand for cyber insurance is just growing and growing. It has to.
Because SMEs are more online now.
Completely. As they adopt more digital tools, e-commerce, cloud services,
Yeah.
their vulnerability to data breaches, ransomware, all that stuff, it just skyrockets.
Okay.
So insurers are responding. They're offering dedicated cyber policies. And these often cover more than just the financial loss.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Things like help with managing the incident itself, maybe legal support if there are fines, even preventative services like risk assessments.
So it's more holistic protection for their digital life.
Exactly. A really critical new layer of defense. Got it. That's huge. Okay, customization. Cyber. Is there a third big trend shaping the future here? I'd say the last really powerful one is the rise of innovative partnerships
Partnerships between who?
between insurers and, well, other platforms that SMEs already use.
Yeah.
Think fintech companies.
Like payment processors,
Yeah.
Stripe, Square, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or digital marketplaces, accounting software,
Yeah.
places where businesses already manage their money or operations.
Okay, I see.
What's key is integrating insurance into that existing ecosystem.
Ah, so it's just there, part of the package.
Pretty much. Imagine getting your banking, your payment processing, and tailored insurance options all through one single platform, seamlessly.
Wow, that would simplify things massively.
It really streamlines financial management, makes it much easier for a busy SME owner to get the protection they need, maybe almost as a default setting.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, we've covered quite a bit today.
We have.
From, SMEs becoming more risk aware and tech, like InsurTech, making things easier, to the real hurdles still out there, like insurance literacy and cost pressures and that tricky claims process.
Yeah, the challenges are real.
But then looking forward, we see these exciting trends, hyper-customization, the absolute necessity of cyber cover, and these smart partnerships making insurance more integrated.
Right.
It feels like the SME insurance market is definitely moving fast, trying to balance growth with fixing those underlying issues through better education, making it more affordable, and being more transparent.
I think that's a good summary. And if you connect it all to the bigger picture, as this whole sector matures,
Yeah.
it really promises to become a proper cornerstone, something that helps ensure small businesses globally are sustainable,
The
resilient.
foundational pillar you mentioned earlier.
Exactly, providing that quiet but, absolutely crucial backbone that lets these vital businesses not just get by, but actually thrive.
That is a powerful thought to end on. So for everyone listening, what does all this mean for the small businesses you interact with every day? Your local coffee shop, the garage, the online store you love. How might this evolving insurance landscape shape their future? Something to maybe mull over this week.